What it do? It's your boy, the good son. Hope you're good. First and foremost, shout out to you, subscription gang, the notification gang. Thank you so much for the love and the support. Really, really appreciate it. Been getting messages on my Gmail like new subscriber alert. So yeah, I appreciate it. But yeah, today I want to talk about something that's very, very important, something that's very close to my heart as well, and that is especially in this day of social media, and that is how much lying and how much lies can actually kill you. A few months ago, I had found myself in a really, really bad place where I was in my room, isolated, could barely get out of bed, was dragging myself through life. And I was in a really, really bad state. I hated my friends, I hated my family, I hated myself, and it had gone to a point where it was really, really bad. And yeah, so it's been a journey, because a couple of my few months later, I'm here, I'm on YouTube. So it's been a journey and it's been a story, and it's been a story that is worth sharing. So, like I said, I'd got myself in a really, really bad place, and everyone was worried. So, I had to confront myself, and I realized, the reason why I hated myself and everyone else around me was up to me, was down to me, it was down to the lies that I actually had put out there in the world, because when you lie about who you are, and when you lie about what you do, you separate yourself from yourself. The more you lie about yourself and about what you do, the more you separate yourself, and you create this whole other persona, and that persona requires so much mental energy, requires so much emotional energy, so much spiritual energy, just to maintain that persona, just to maintain that lifestyle. And that thing takes away so much joy from who you really are, because you're focusing on maintaining this thing and expectations of this thing that is really, really not you. And the more that grows, the more you lose yourself, and the more you hate yourself as that thing grows as well. I'll just share a little bit, of the journey of how I ended up there, in university. There was a year that I had failed, and I told my friends that everything had gone well, and they had continued, they had progressed, and they started to work as well. So the expectation that we were all working, everyone thought, everyone is good, so we were all working. Meanwhile, I was still studying, and so with that is the expectation of money. So my friends would call me, yo, let's go meet, let's go do these things, and I'd go just to maintain, that persona. And then when I'd go there, it would be awkward because we had to talk about work, which I wasn't really doing. And of course, we had to spend money, which I really didn't have, because, maintaining a lie is very expensive, not only financially, but mentally as well. So I was spending money that I didn't have. And when I'd gone back to my room, I hated myself for spending money that I didn't have. I was broke. But most importantly as well, I hated what I was doing. I hated that I had to study. I hated that the real me was so bad compared to the persona that I was putting out there. So I hated myself, hated what I was doing, and because I hated what I was doing, I didn't do well in school that year, so I failed again. So now you can only imagine, because now I had this another group of people that I had to lie to now, and now there were so many different people that I was avoiding, and so many awkward conversations. So I started to isolate myself from then, because there were so many groups of people I was lying to. And because of that, I started to withdraw. I started to hide myself. And because of that, I wasn't able to get the support from my friends, because I was telling them I'm okay. I was telling them I'm somebody else. So when I was going through all these bad things that were happening in my life, I didn't feel their support. And because I didn't feel their support, I hated them for it. But in truth, it wasn't their fault, because they didn't really know what I was going through, because I put them in a position where I had told them I was okay. So now I was isolating myself, there was pressure at home, there was all these other things that no one understood what I was going through, because of the lies and the persona that I had actually put out there. And, fast forward, that led me to a really, really dark place. And, um, I had to really, really be honest with myself. And the way that I got out of it was really finding myself again. I was really being honest with myself again. Like the Bible says, the truth will set you free. So I had to rediscover who I was. So I literally took a piece of paper and wrote down the things that I really loved, the things that I really cared about, what my favorite food really was, what my favorite music really was, what clothes that I really liked wearing. I had to really discover myself, what my desires are, my passion was. I had to write all those things down so I can get to learn myself again. And once I began to trust myself, I was able, to go out to my family, to my parents and my siblings. I was able to be honest with them about who I really was, and having them around me, repairing that relationship gave me a support system, and it gave me strength that I didn't have, and that strength allowed me now to have the strength to go outside of my family to friends that were close to me, and I was able to share who I really was with them as well, and to the point where I'm able to share my story with the whole world on YouTube. But that step, that journey, it has to start with yourself, because no one has the strength to just move from that place to shouting the truth out to the whole world. You need to take the necessary steps. First step is being honest with yourself. We start rediscovering yourself. Then the next step is bringing one or two close people to really mend that relationship with, and find that support with, and build yourself with somebody who you love and you trust. And that trust and that support system will give you the strength now to grow your ecosystem. And that's a journey that I had to go through to be able to go outside and courageously and boldly be myself again. So I had to go through that process to find myself in this position, but the journey, of course, is not over, because I'm still so many relationships that I still need to repair. But I say that because, in social media, it's so tough, because in social media, we literally create a profile. We have become experts at creating a profile. In fact, you can go to any business seminar, the one thing they'll tell you is branding. You have to brand yourself. This is what we've become masters at. The youth, the kids these days, they grow up with the understanding of branding, and that is why there's such a separation between the person's real self and the persona online, and that separation is causing so much depression. It's causing so much angst, so much anxiety, because you have to live and maintain this brand, but you also have to try to be yourself, and it's so difficult because those two worlds often do not coexist, and you find people killing themselves because it's so hard to maintain the brand. Find themselves, people literally killing themselves because they're trying to free themselves from this brand. And I'm sharing this story because I don't want people to kill themselves, but I want people to have the strength to be able to kill the brand, to be able to kill the persona, and relive and rediscover who they really are, so that they can be courageously themselves offline and online as well. Because oftentimes, I've met people online, and when we meet offline, they're completely different people, or even vice versa. Often, most of the times, when you meet people offline, maybe I've liked a few people, I've met a people offline, and when I see them online, I'm like, yo, why are you posting those things? Those things really aren't you. But as they say, they have to maintain the image, they have to maintain the brand, and that separation is a warning, or that you're separating yourself, and it's going to require so much strength to maintain that thing. Because I found myself, I've been to expensive places, eating expensive food, and that really wasn't my favorite food. I've been in relationships with beautiful women, famous women, but I couldn't maintain those relationships because I wasn't happy, because those weren't my type of people. So no matter what life can give you, you'll never be really happy. You'll never be really satisfied if it's not really you getting what you love, or what you like, or doing what you desire. You'll never be really happy, even if you have the finest things. So I say that so that hopefully someone else can be freed from the brand, freed from the persona, and freed from the lies, so they can be courageously themselves. Because it's so beautiful to wear the clothes that you love to wear, listen to the music that you love, go to the places that you love, find friends that really, you know, love you and that you also love, be with people that you really get along with. There's nothing more satisfying than living a truthful life. And all of us deserve to have that. But that journey first starts with you being truthful with yourself, being honest with yourself, and then going out there, and really conquering the world with you being you. So that's just my journey, my little life in a really short form. But like I said, hit me up on the social medias. Hit me up on the inbox, because this conversation is such a big conversation that I feel like we should have on a broader scale, a daily level as well, because there's so many challenges and so many things that we all individually go through. Um, but otherwise, thank you for the love, thank you for the support. Hit that like and share the video.